Welcome to AgSafe Alberta's Getting Started, Developing Your Farm Safety Plan. In this video, we look at incident investigation basics. Before we get started, let's look at the general steps that should be followed when an incident occurs. The first one being eliminate any hazards that are present, then care for anyone who is injured, followed by secure the scene, and finally, begin the incident investigation. It is important to note, especially with the first two steps, only to do something if it is safe for you to do so. You do not want to become a victim yourself and further complicate the situation. Let's start with eliminating any hazards present, if safe to do so. If the situation is unstable, dangerous, and/or worsening, call 911 immediately. Refer to your farm's emergency response plan and the training you have received in this area for guidance. As with anything, only perform actions as appropriate and if safe to do so. Next, you will care for anyone who is injured. Provide first aid. Transport the injured person to obtain medical attention. Call 911 when the injured person is not breathing, is stuck in something, under something, or between objects, or has a possible spinal injury. Perform actions only as appropriate. Remove all non-essential people from the scene. The scene is the area where the incident occurred. Protect the area from entry by people or livestock. Do not move or disrupt items unless it is absolutely necessary. Only disturb the scene to attend to anyone who is injured, prevent further damage, injuries, or death, protect property that is in danger as a result of the incident, perform tasks as directed by fire rescue, police, or EMS. You are now ready to begin the incident investigation. Start by interviewing witnesses. Interviews help to reconstruct what happened and why. You should interview anyone who can provide information about what happened. A witness does not have to be someone who saw what happened. It can be someone who heard something, someone who was at the location shortly before the incident occurred, someone who came upon the incident shortly after it happened, or someone who was involved in some other way. Obtain written witness or involved party statements right away. Keep witnesses and involved parties from speaking to each other or others until after the interview. Interview witnesses as soon as possible while their memories are still fresh, and do so in a private area. Ask open-ended questions and let witnesses explain events using their own words. Have witnesses draw pictures or diagrams as required. Next, you should study the scene. Evidence should be identified before it is collected to ensure a thorough investigation. The four categories of evidence are people, positions, parts, and papers. People include your eye or ear witness testimony about what happened before, during, and/or after the incident. Positions includes where the people were positioned. Where was the object, equipment used located? The positions of equipment, objects, and people are easily compromised by those who are investigating an incident, bystanders, and frequently people who are eager to get back to work. Parts. What are the tools or equipment involved? These items can easily be misplaced. These items provide evidence of defects, improper use, improper installation, and willful or inadvertent abuse. Paper. Relevant papers should be collected before they are misplaced or altered. Paper includes hazard assessments, training records, operating instructions, maintenance logs, supervisor's logbooks, toolbox talks, anything that will assist with your investigation. Once identified, collect the evidence. As you investigate and collect evidence, you should try and answer these 6 basic questions. Who was involved? What happened? Where did the incident happen? When did the incident happen? Why was the unsafe act or condition allowed? How can a similar incident be prevented? Investigate the physical evidence. Study the tools, equipment, and damage. Look at the details of the work environment. Take into account the visibility, noise level, temperature, exposure to hazardous substances, and other factors. Review the documentation, the hazard assessments, product documents, SDSs, procedures, etc. Find out if there were any changes in the workplace recently, such as design, procedure, tools, products used, etc. Find the causes. There are usually many factors that cause or contribute to an incident. These are direct causes, indirect causes, and root causes. A direct cause is an action or event that is the initiating agent that leads to an incident. Direct causes relate to substandard conditions and/or substandard acts, and there may be several direct causes for an incident. An indirect cause cannot cause an incident on its own. However, it contributes to the outcomes. There may be several indirect causes for a single incident. When it comes to root causes, there are many types of root cause analysis techniques. Here, we look at the 5 whys technique. Using this technique, you ask why. Here is a simple example using this method. Why won't the car start? The answer, the battery is dead. Why is the battery dead? The alternator is not working properly. Why is the alternator not working properly? The serpentine belt is broken. Why did the serpentine belt break? It was not replaced when it was worn. Why was it not replaced when it was worn? The farm does not have a preventative maintenance program in place. Finally, we look at investigation reports. It is recommended to have 2 investigation reports. While it may seem like extra work, be assured that it is minimal but very beneficial. You will have a detailed, internal, preliminary investigation report and a final investigation report. The preliminary investigation report is for internal farm information only. It should be quite detailed and include the direct, indirect, and root causes. The corrective actions you have identified should be included here. The final investigation report should be very factual and to the point. It should include the root causes that you have identified and the corrective actions. This report should be signed by the parties identified in your incident investigation policy and procedure. This is the report that would be provided to occupational health and safety if requested. A common question that comes up is who releases the scene after an incident and when does this happen? The simple answer is, it depends. For minor incidents, it would be the person designated by the farm to do so. This is someone with involvement and understanding of health and safety, such as a health and safety coordinator. This person will advise when to release the scene and any tools or equipment once the investigation requirements have been met. If someone has been injured, they may have to wait for an update to find out if the injured person has been admitted to hospital or has been referred to a surgeon. For incidents that are reportable to Alberta Occupational Health and Safety, the decision for when the scene can be released will be made by Alberta Occupational Health and Safety. These reportable incidents include a death, a worker being admitted to hospital, an unplanned or uncontrolled explosion, fire, or flood that causes or may cause injury, the collapse or upset of a crane, derrick, or hoist, the collapse or failure of any component of a building structure. If you have a serious incident or are unsure if an incident is reportable to Alberta Occupational Health and Safety, call AgSafe Alberta on our 24-hour hotline at 1-833-924-7233 for assistance. In the event of an emergency, always call 911 immediately. Where can you get more resources? Click on the links in the description of this video to get copies of forms and access to other tools and resources that will help you make your farm a safer place to live and work. AgSafe Alberta is a non-profit organization led by 26 crop and livestock producer groups. We support farms and ranches of all sizes and commodity groups within our province. We offer these and many more services. Visit www.agsafeab.ca and become a member today.